Are you ready to face what Baba Vanga predicted for the future? In 2025, the world could be radically different, and not in a good way. The famous Bulgarian seer, known for her chilling prophecies, made predictions ranging from devastating natural disasters to the collapse of global powers. And with the rapid pace of climate change, political tensions, and technological advancements, it's impossible to ignore how these predictions might come true. If you think Baba Vanga's predictions are just stories from the past, think again. The catastrophes she described, like a world war and extreme environmental disasters, are closer than we realize. The scariest part: her final prediction could change everything we know about the future. And the worst part is, it might hold the key to understanding what's coming. Don't miss out on discovering what the seer said about 2025. You'll be surprised, and maybe even start preparing for a future no one expected. Baba Vanga was a famous seer from Bulgaria, known for her uncanny ability to predict the future. Over the years, she made numerous predictions about world events, many of which have shocked people for their seeming accuracy. She became particularly well known for her predictions about disasters and political events. One of her most unsettling forecasts was about the year 2025, when the world might face significant challenges, including natural disasters and geopolitical upheaval. The video delves into Baba Vanga's life, her powers of foresight, and some of the most impactful predictions she made, especially those concerning the uncertain future of 2025. Her predictions were not just about minor events. She saw global-scale changes. Some have already started to materialize, giving a sense of foreboding about what's to come. Baba Vanga's predictions are still discussed today because they touch on some of the biggest fears people have about the future, such as wars, environmental collapse, and political chaos. In the context of 2025, she spoke of a time when the world would be at a crossroads, facing a critical juncture that could change everything. As we move closer to 2025, it's important to look back at her most famous prophecies and see how they might apply to the world we live in today. Could these predictions be more than just coincidences? As Baba Vanga's life and prophecies continue to intrigue people, the question remains: will the world truly see the changes she foresaw? And are we ready for them? Baba Vanga's predictions for the future are filled with warnings about the increasing frequency of natural disasters, climate change, and the rise of global conflicts. She foresaw a world where extreme weather events would become more common, where the effects of global warming would wreak havoc on the planet, and where humanity would struggle to deal with the consequences. The year 2025, in particular, is one she predicted to be a turning point for the world, with increased natural catastrophes and escalating tensions between nations. The question is, how will we respond when these predictions start coming true? According to Baba Vanga, climate change would not just be an environmental issue, but a cause for geopolitical instability. As weather patterns become more unpredictable, regions would experience devastating floods, droughts, and extreme temperatures. These events could lead to mass migrations, shortages of resources, and even large-scale conflicts as countries fight over what remains. What's even more frightening is that she foresaw these changes happening much sooner than expected, with 2025 being a critical year for the Earth's future. The implications of Baba Vanga's predictions are profound. If we continue down the current path, the world could face not just ecological disaster, but a breakdown of political and social systems as well. Natural disasters could overwhelm nations that are already struggling with economic instability. It's a future filled with uncertainty, and her foresight reminds us that we may not have much time left to change course. Baba Vanga predicted that climate change would have a devastating effect on the planet, with increasingly severe natural disasters becoming the norm. She warned of rising temperatures, melting ice caps, and extreme weather events that would wreak havoc on ecosystems and communities around the world. With the current state of the planet, her predictions seem to be coming closer to reality as we're already witnessing the effects of climate change. In 2025, according to Baba Vanga, these events will intensify, potentially leading to a global environmental crisis that could reshape human civilization. The changes Baba Vanga foresaw are not just about rising sea levels or melting glaciers. She predicted a series of extreme weather events, including catastrophic floods, widespread droughts, and violent storms. These natural disasters could cause widespread destruction, displacing millions and straining resources to the breaking point. The big question is, how prepared are we to deal with these challenges? And how much time do we have left before they become unavoidable? Climate change isn't just a theory anymore. It's happening right before our eyes. One of the most chilling aspects of Baba Vanga's predictions is the idea that the environmental crisis we face isn't just a natural occurrence, but the result of humanity's disregard for the planet. If we don't make significant changes in how we treat the Earth, the consequences will be catastrophic. Baba Vanga's warnings should serve as a wake-up call for all of us to take urgent action before 2025 arrives, ensuring that we can still make a difference in mitigating the worst effects of climate change. One of Baba Vanga's most disturbing predictions involved the unchecked advancement of technology and its potentially catastrophic consequences for humanity. She foresaw a future where artificial intelligence and automation would progress so rapidly that humans could lose control over their creations. The rapid development of technology in recent years brings this vision closer to reality. As we rely more on machines and algorithms to make decisions, we have to ask ourselves, are we truly prepared to handle the power of something that could surpass human intelligence? 2025 may be the year we face this dilemma head-on. And the question is, how will we respond? The idea of out-of-control artificial intelligence may sound like something from a sci-fi movie, but Baba Vanga's concerns were grounded in reality. The rise of AI and autonomous systems in everything from healthcare to security brings up serious questions. How much control can we realistically maintain over these technologies? In recent years, we've already seen examples of algorithms making decisions without human intervention, and this could have disastrous implications, from creating autonomous weapons to manipulating information in dangerous ways. Technology is a double-edged sword, and Baba Vanga understood this better than most. She also warned of the danger of becoming overly reliant on technology, which could isolate individuals and weaken human connections. In the future, this social disconnection could lead to a crisis of identity and even a breakdown of societal structures. As we continue to depend on digital devices and artificial intelligence, we may be heading toward a future where loneliness and social chaos will become even more pronounced. If we're not careful, the technological advances Baba Vanga predicted may not be a blessing, but a curse. Baba Vanga predicted that 2025 would be a turning point for the world, marked by catastrophic events that would shake the Earth and humanity to their core. Among the tragedies she foresaw, she spoke of a global war, possibly the most devastating conflict the world has ever seen. With rising political and military tensions in different parts of the world, especially between powers like the US, China, and Russia, Baba Vanga's words are becoming increasingly relevant. In 2025, the possibility of a major global conflict may not just be a prediction, but a reality drawing closer. Are we prepared for the destruction that may come, or are we simply watching it unfold? In addition to the risk of war, Baba Vanga also spoke of an unprecedented economic crisis that would affect global stability. With economies already under pressure due to factors like inflation, resource shortages, and growing inequality, this prediction is starting to resonate. the financial future of the world could be just as uncertain as the climate challenges we face. The question is, what can we do to prepare for such a catastrophe? Economic collapse may be inevitable, but with proactive measures we can minimize the impact. The time to act is now. And what if Baba Vanga's predictions are more than just old stories? What if in 2025 the world truly faces a crisis? Our survival might depend on how quickly we adapt to these changes. Whether it's war, economic collapse, or natural disasters, the only certainty is that the future is unpredictable. What are we doing today to ensure that we're ready for whatever comes tomorrow? Baba Vanga was clear in her predictions that, over time, natural catastrophes would become increasingly frequent and devastating. She predicted a sharp rise in earthquakes, tsunamis, and hurricanes, events that we are already witnessing with increasing frequency. Climate change is directly linked to these occurrences, and Baba Vanga's forecasts seem to align with the reality of a planet that is growing ever more unstable. In 2025, she predicted an intensification of these catastrophes, with entire areas potentially being wiped out by the forces of nature. Are we truly ready for the impact that may come, or are we simply watching destruction approach without taking action? What is even more disturbing in Baba Vanga's predictions is that she believed these natural disasters wouldn't just be the result of climate change, but rather a form of punishment for humanity's mistakes. Increasing pollution, deforestation, and the reckless use of natural resources could be the root cause of the devastation. If we look at the current state of the environment, it's not hard to see how we're contributing to these disasters. The question is, how long will we continue ignoring the warning signs? Nature is responding, and 2025 may be the year humanity faces the consequences of its actions. Baba Vanga also spoke of a future where these natural catastrophes would create an entirely new kind of reality for global populations. Entire regions could be left without resources, and millions of people could become environmental refugees, forced to flee areas ravaged by nature's fury. What can we do to prepare for this kind of future? Prevention is key, but so is environmental awareness and a radical shift in our habits. 2025 is fast approaching, and with it, the opportunity to change the course we are on. If we don't start acting now, the damage may become irreversible. Baba Vanga predicted significant geopolitical changes that would reshape the world map. She spoke of the collapse of certain global powers and the emergence of new international alliances. What she predicted seems increasingly plausible, especially as major powers compete for resources and influence. Geopolitical tensions are rising, and the balance of power in the world could shift toward new forces. In 2025, we might witness the rise of new superpowers or the collapse of old empires. How will these changes affect our society? These geopolitical transformations will have a direct impact on societies around the world. Baba Vanga warned of a global reorganization that could lead to social unrest, revolts, and growing inequalities. The increasing concentration of power in the hands of a few nations could create even greater divides, while new grassroots movements might rise in response to oppression and economic crises. Political instability could spread, affecting the lives of ordinary people. In 2025, will we see a global reaction against the established order, or an attempt to rebuild a new world system? The big question is, how can we prepare for these changes? If Baba Vanga's predictions are correct, societies will face an uncertain and turbulent future. Populations may be forced to adapt quickly to new realities, with new regimes and new forms of social organization. In such a scenario, resilience will be key. The question is, Are we ready to cope with these changes, or will we be taken by surprise? If you want to secure a place in an unpredictable future, it's time to start thinking about how to adapt, or even thrive, in a world in constant flux. Baba Vanga predicted the rise of global conflict, especially a war that could involve multiple countries and have catastrophic consequences. With tensions between major world powers escalating, many believe we are heading toward an inevitable conflict. In 2025, the situation could become even more critical as unresolved political and economic issues may finally reach a boiling point. What Baba Vanga foresaw is chilling, a conflict that would affect everyone, not just those directly involved in the fighting. As countries fight for power and resources, the world may be pulled into a global struggle that reshapes international relations for years to come. One of the most alarming aspects of Baba Vanga's prophecy is the idea that this conflict will be unlike any other in history. With modern technology and nuclear weapons at the disposal of global superpowers, the consequences of such a war could be catastrophic. Not only would entire cities be destroyed, but the fallout from such a war could change the course of human history forever. The question is, how can we prevent this from happening? And if we can't, what steps can we take to minimize the impact on future generations? Baba Vanga's prediction serves as a stark reminder that global peace is fragile. With international alliances shifting and the pursuit of power intensifying, the possibility of war in 2025 remains very real. The challenge now is to work toward reducing tensions and preventing such a conflict from escalating. If we don't learn from history and take action now, the world could find itself in the midst of a devastating war, one that could change the course of civilization as we know it. Baba Vanga's most chilling prediction for 2025 is the culmination of everything she foresaw, a world on the brink of change. She spoke of cataclysmic events that would alter the course of human history, from extreme natural disasters to global conflicts, and even the potential collapse of entire civilizations. What makes this prediction so alarming is that, according to Baba Vanga, the changes could be so profound that the world we know today might no longer exist in just a few years. Will humanity survive the coming trials? Or will 2025 mark the beginning of the end? The question we all must ask ourselves is, how much time do we have left to prepare? If Baba Vanga's predictions are true, the next few years could bring challenges unlike anything we've seen in history. With the world teetering on the edge of environmental collapse, political instability, and technological advancement, 2025 could very well be a tipping point. What can we do to ensure that we're not swept up in the chaos? How can we prepare for the unimaginable? In the face of such daunting predictions, it's easy to feel powerless. But Baba Vanga's warnings are also a call to action. If we want to change the future, we must start now. The clock is ticking, and 2025 may come faster than we think. Are you ready to face the challenges that lie ahead? Or will you be left behind as the world transforms? The ultimate question remains, can we survive the coming storm, or will we become victims of our own complacency? Now that you've discovered Baba Vanga's most terrifying predictions for 2025, the big question is, what will you do with this knowledge? In a world where natural disasters, global conflicts, and the rapid evolution of technology could reshape our reality, it's crucial to prepare yourself. What steps are within your control to prevent or at least protect yourself from what's ahead? We can't just wait for the future to come without taking action. How can you contribute to a more sustainable world? How can you make sure you're ready for the challenges that may arise, whether they're economic, social, or environmental? Now is the time to reflect and act. If Baba Vanga's predictions come true, will you be prepared for the change or caught off guard? If you want to keep learning about the future and how it might impact your life, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Don't miss the upcoming videos. There's so much more to discover about what lies ahead. The future starts now, and it depends on the decisions we make today.